Another day, another Christmas jumper. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another DIY Christmas video, and today we're talking DIY gifts, and these are hopefully, fingers crossed, gifts that people will actually want to receive, I hope. And if you want some more DIY gift ideas, don't forget to check out my other DIY Christmas gift videos, which I will leave linked there. Anyway, let's jump in. The first thing that I want to share with you is these scarves, because these might be my favourite thing that I've made in a really, really long time. And you'll never guess what? These took 30 minutes to make and cost me under £6 each. So I want to show you how to make them. However, the footage, it was quite difficult to show this process, so it might be a little bit choppy because I've gone back in and refilmed some bits. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying, but it's a very easy project, so let's jump into it.
I picked up the yarn from Aldi. It was £2.99 and I needed 2 balls for each scarf, so just be warned, you might need quite a lot of wool for this. To start your project, you're going to need to make a slip knot at the end of your wool. So cross it over, creating a loop, and then pull your strands through your loop, making sure the tail doesn't go all the way through, and then pull it really tight. As you can see, this kind of knot gives it a little bit of movement, so you can adjust it till it's the right size. You want to make sure that it fits on the palm of your hand like so, because this is going to become your measurement when you're making the scarf. So this is how you're going to start the project, with the loop around your right hand. Then you take the wool through and pull it like so. Once again, put your hand through it so you know that you've got the right amount of wool in your loop. And then we're going to do it all over again. So for the next loop, just grab the working wool and pull it through the loop you just made, creating another loop. Keep doing this all the way down. This is called making a chain. I made 45 of these for the blue scarf and 50 for the grey one to make a longer one. As you can see here, I am using my hand as the measurement. This is really important because you want to make sure that all of the chains are about the same size. Once you've finished your chain, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. One side is going to have some bumps in the middle. It looks a bit like a plait, but the other side is lots of V shapes going in one direction. So what you're going to want to do is flip it over to the side where you've got the bumps going down the middle. And then this next bit is where I didn't show it very well because my hands are in the way, but I'm going to show you a more detailed clip in a second. But long story short, we're just starting the next sequence, going in the opposite direction. So once you've flipped your chain, you'll be able to start on the next row. So to show you closer up how to do the next row, here is a slightly different clip. So here's what I'm working with. Please ignore the fact that there's now 2 rows. It's the same technique that I'm using, so you'll see it in a minute. But you take your loop and put it on your hand again. And now we're going to start working with the chains that are on the top of the row that you can see here. So with your loop in your hand, use your fingers to pull your working wool through the top loop that's to the left, and then create a new loop and pull your old loop over the top, pulling it tight like so. Let me show you that one more time before we speed up the process. So pull your working wool through and your old loop over the top. Move on to the next loop, one over, pull it through, and then the wool goes over the top and pull it tight. So now once you get started, you'll notice that you can actually do this a lot quicker. So I'm going to start doing this on the next one by just pulling my wool through and then creating a new loop that is the same size as my hand. As you can see, I'm just going along the whole of the top row, making sure not to miss a single loop. I did 2 different versions of this scarf, but both of them are finished off the same way. You start by cutting the excess wool and pulling your loop nice and tightly closed, and then tie a couple of knots to make sure that that extra wool isn't going anywhere. For the grey one, I left it plain and just had nothing on the ends, but for this blue one, I added a few tassels to try and show you a couple of different options. Take a small piece, fold it in half, then fold that in half again. Where it meets in the middle here, you're going to want to thread that piece through one of the loops at the bottom of your scarf. Take the tail end of the wool and then pull it through the new loop that you've created. How many times have I said loop today? And then just pull it really tight. Once you've done that, trim the ends and make sure that they're all the same length, and you should have something that looks a little bit like this. And then this is how the scarves turned out. I made a couple of them, but I'm gonna keep one for myself because they're super cozy and warm, and I've been actually wearing the blue one quite a lot.
Moving on, this next project is a DIY box that you can use as a jewellery box or for any kind of purpose really. It's just a mini storage box, but it doubles up as a really good gift wrap idea if you want to create like a little set with some jewellery pieces or maybe some small stationery items. So here's how I made it.
So I picked up this box in The Works and it was only £2. It's in their crafting section, but you can find something like this in any good craft shop, or even have a look in your local charity shop to see if you can find an old wooden box. And then I'm just digging through my sticker collection to see what's going to be appropriate to stick on the top. With any stickers removed from your box, you can go ahead and start decorating it. Now I went in with some paint and just went straight on the box with it. I'm using a foam brush to get a nice even coverage rather than a bristle brush. Make sure you get all of the sides, and once you're done, let it dry. I was going to paint the bottom of the box a white colour, but I ended up deciding to use some Danish oil to bring out the natural wood instead. You could use a varnish or a stain. Danish oil is really great because it just sinks into the wood and gives it a really rich colour that's based on the colour that is already there. It just kind of brightens and oils the wood. It looks really nice. I love Danish oil. I could talk about Danish oil for ages. Is it Danish oil or Danish oil? Oh, who knows? Anyway, I used a rag to apply this evenly. As you can see, the colour difference is pretty prominent. I let that dry and then I moved on to the stickers. So now I have the tough decision of which stickers I'm going to use on the box from my collection. And don't even think for a second that these are not the top contender. I suppose I should probably use this. I actually got this in Japan earlier in the year and I've always thought it was too precious to stick on anything. So let's finally use it. Does anyone else have stickers that they never want to use because they're too good? Yeah, that's me. Anyway, I stuck the sticker down on the top of the box. It had a very firm hold, so I decided not to use any glue on it, but you can use a bit of glue if you want to be extra secure. And because this was a fluffy sticker, I didn't use any gloss or Mod Podge over the top, but if you're using a flat sticker, don't forget to seal it in so it's not going to go anywhere. If you want to use this as a gift box rather than just a jewellery box and you want to put some bits in it, maybe you can add a little bit of wrapping paper at the bottom and then arrange all of your presents on the inside and then give it to your friend as it is, or you can give it as a present on its own because I think it makes just a really nice little storage box.
So this next one is a DIY hot water bottle cover, and I do apologise if you live in a country where hot water bottles are maybe not perhaps the norm, but if you do, I'm sorry, but they're the best thing ever. It's basically a wobbly plastic sack that you fill with boiling water and it makes you really warm. I love it. If you can't find one near you, you can definitely find one online or from Amazon. Hot water bottles are very inexpensive and a cover makes a very good gift because you can tailor it to look really unique for the recipient.
Okay, so I am taking an old jumper that I was about to give to the charity shop. As you can see, it's kind of oversized, but it's got a really nice texture to it. And I'm going to lay it flat, put my hot water bottle on top of it, and trace around about a ½ inch to an inch around the outside using some tailor's chalk. Actually, when you're going around the top of the hot water bottle, make sure to leave a little bit extra where the opening is because you want to be able to get the hot water bottle in and out. Anyway, once you've done that, you can start cutting it out. Cut around the area where you have chalked your line, and then once you're done, you can start sewing. You can absolutely hand stitch this if you'd like. It's quite a simple project, so there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to, but I am just using my sewing machine because it's a lot quicker. So I put the right sides together and sewed all around the edge, leaving the opening at the top open. Also, if you're using a sewing machine, try to make sure your tension isn't too high and that the stitches are quite long because the elastic in jumper fabric loves to kind of bunch up and spoil your hard work. Anyway, where the opening is at the top, fold your edges over so you've got a nice clean seam and then just go along the top, making sure not to close your opening, of course. Before flipping this the right way out, I just cut some of that extra seam allowance off because it's kind of chunky and unnecessary and you don't want it getting in the way of your hot water bottle. Turn your hot water bottle cover the right way round and put your hot water bottle inside to make sure that it's going to fit and that that opening is big enough at the top. So I'm just adding a little bit of this velvet ribbon at the bottom and as a little bow on the top. Because this is really stretchy fabric, I thought that sewing it was going to be an absolute nightmare. So I'm using a tiny bit of washable fabric glue. The washable part is very important so that your recipient can wash the hot water bottle, or if it gets water on it, it's not going to be damaged at all. Don't use any hot glue, even if it's fabric glue on this, because the glue will melt because the hot water bottle is hot. Anyway, for the final touch, I added a bow in the same color around the top of the hot water bottle, just so that it has some kind of closure at the top. So this is how my hot water bottle turned out, and I'm really pleased with it. I'd love to see if you made one of these and how you decorated it, if you did anything different. But yeah, that's how mine turned out.
So we all have a friend or family member that's very difficult to buy for, so we end up buying them a photo and putting it in a frame, and that's all well and good. But if you want to DIY them something with love, then this is a very inexpensive way to do that.
To make this craft, I took a piece of scrap wood, you can use any size you want, and some good old Danish oil, whatever you want to call it. So I put this on a rag again, and I swiped that over the piece of wood. Once that was done, I let it dry for a little bit. It doesn't take too long to dry, and then I added the clips on the front. I'm using some gold office clips for these, and then taking some strong glue and applying it to the back of the clip, putting it in place, and then pressing down on it for a little while. I added 3 of these clips and let them dry overnight, and that's really all there is to this project because I made mine to lean against the wall. However, if this is something that you want to hang up on the wall, don't forget to add a fixture to the back of it for hanging pictures up. I love using a Coke tab from an aluminium drink can and then just gluing this to the back. To finish off this project, print a few photos that mean something to the person that you're going to give them to. I have these lovely Polaroid ones from La La Lab. I really love the style and the shape of them. And then all there is left to do is package it up and give it away at Christmas.
So that is my DIY Christmas gifts video for 2019. Once again, if you want to see some more ideas, don't forget to check out my older DIY gift videos. It's got to a point now where I'm like, I don't know what to make anymore. I have done everything. Well, I haven't done everything, but I don't want to repeat myself too much. So hopefully some of those gift ideas will help. But hopefully you'll like some in this video. I am going to go float around in one of my new scarves, and with all of that being said, I hope you're having a great Christmassy season. Happy holidays, happy Christmas. I'll see you next time. Bye!